Okay, so we are back for a D&D session, slightly late because I was showing off images. And we do have a bit of a things floating around. It is session number 161, or Phase 3, Season 3, Episode 24. It is 3 days after the events of last session, putting us on the 18th of the 3rd, 1012. At the table today we have Martin.
I'm playing Trellin Silverleaf, archetype of the Walking Rock, and I'm a medium elf fae with a background as a tunnel halfling. Don't ask. And with a background as an urchin from Darrakan. Don't ask. And Secrets of the Earth, an Adept 13. That'll do me.
Don't ask.
So what aren't we asking about?
Don't ask him about his tragic backstory.
Because I have a...
Really complex backstory.
That's right. So I have a medium elf backstory, kind of adjunct, and a tunnel halfling legitimate, but he kind of morphed.
As you can get when you're a halfling, not halfling elf.
That's right.
Race, right?
Yes.
Yes, though he still was blamed for the death of himself.
I don't see any reason that Skrellin should be ashamed of having saved the gods and receiving reward for doing so.
That's right.
Which then brings us to Sean.
I am playing Cetus and Hildren, technically, at least for the rest of the current in-game day.
Well, I did say 3 days have passed.
I was going to say, you had 3 days past, you might have got better.
Well, so on the first day, Cetus was Hildren. Mm-hmm. The second day, they were both each other. Well, they were both of them. And then, are we on the third day now? Am I just back to Cetus?
It has been 3 days since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've had 5 days since you got merged.
Ah.
Any progress?
You'll find out.
I'm going to assume that I'm just Cetus again now. Cetus is a elven Vortiganasi berserker, Path of the Beast, failed druid, and also half Kraken, I think, now. As we found out
always had some squid abilities.
He always had squid-like abilities, but we found out the reason why he had them was because his wife fused him with the Kraken when he was dead.
Hey, I'm sure a bit of a Kraken always helps lighten things up.
Yeah. We do not talk about that. Hi, Mum.
Sorry, we didn't acknowledge.
Would someone like to give an introduction for Ariadna? For
Please.
I've forgotten.
Calcrix is a white dragon, I think.
She is.
Well, she started white.
She started off white. She's gone darker since then on, I think, extremities and a bit up them. She's
multi-elemental. Does that help?
multi-elemental, got a few coloured scales in there as well. Thriving coffee empire. Has a companion named Eep, who is a plant-based dark fae who loves to yell "Death to the infidels."
Well, if it does help, I also do have a description I used to create the AI images I stuck up on my Facebook. So it has Calcrix the White Dragon with the Jazz Wings is also known as Empress of the Skies as a future title for when she travels back in time and founds the Wild Hunt with the Fey Lords of both the Feywild and the Fey Dark. All one sentence, so yeah. Yay for me for typing badly. She is a white dragon, air aspected, who thought talking with the goddess Nyx, through talking with the goddess Nyx, has gained a Feydark companion called Eep. Eep is a carnivorous plant mimic. She looks black with grey definitions and exists in the Feydark as well as wherever Calcrix is at the time. She likes to ride on Calcrix's shoulder. Calcrix's fins and claws all turned black and gain black coloration and the dark aspect. Through work with her brother Drazzle and a few time jumps not shared with the gamers yet, she gained the ability to be in more than one group at the same time with the shared experience within her mind of what is happening in any one time. And with that she gained some blue tor coloration in the wings and highlighting her scales. Her scales have scrimshaw etchings of images showing her personal history done by Eve and various children she has encountered over her travels. One of her wings has a sign of great damage and has a golden seal over where the hole in her great wing was that shows the damage mark. With various magical items turned into scales or merged onto other body parts, she has a few sparkling and glowing sections with gemstones in some of her scales.
That is a very in-depth description.
Well, I wanted to be able to generate an image. I may end up with something like that for everyone. Online today we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. I'm playing Dimitri Dimitros, the Keldaran, peasant-born, humble, generous soul, willing to help out and provide advice to all those who need it, being willing to distribute his vast knowledge that he has accumulated since coming up from his humble beginnings. And now he's, as I say, advisor to banks across the world at all levels.
My question for you there, Jeremy, is have you said humble enough yet?
I don't think we've emphasized his
Apparently, some people need it said multiple times for them to believe it.
I still don't believe it.
I'm still waiting for his humbleness to come.
Yes, unfortunately, no matter how much he tries, some people just can't listen to true words.
Well, it depends on what those two words are. So who would like to do the recap of last session?
Well, probably the important bits were the fact that having confirmed that Calcrix was now the bearer of the Storm King's crown and was going to hold on to that until such time as being sorted. We then also tried to recover the rod, might have been the rod of Calorus, I think, was the one that controlled the worm skull throne that belongs now to the Storm Giant Queen. But after recovering the rod off the blue dragon, semi-blue dragon Imrith, it turned out that the rod had the soul or ego or belief or whatever of Kel, who was turned out to be the father of some of the blue dragons that we've met in the Blue Dragon Academy, some of the leaders there, and it got entrusted into Shaker's hands, who then, following advice or making mistakes, managed to summon all the blue dragons down to the southern continent. So, which is going to cause no problem whatsoever.
Just
Just one correction. I believe it was Hildren, not Seiko.
yeah, it's Hildren.
Sorry, yep.
Seika is from Monday.
Yeah.
She
Yes,
did.
definitely the correction to say, as a player, it's confusing with character with campaign. Yep.
he did manage to redirect them from going to the southern continent to starting to gather at her her lands next to Rapan Athak, which I think was slightly better because at least they're on the same continent.
Not both the southern continent.
Oh, okay. So
That's why I'm going to the
okay.
southern continent, is because that's where her domain has been placed, because she got put in charge of the domain down there, deliberately in the southern continent, along with scions of a lot of the kingdoms of the known world, as a safe refuge in case the Master overtook all of the known world. So.
Okay, that helps because the last domain I remembered her having was next to Rapan Athak.
Same place, exactly.
Oh, it is. The southern continent is next to.
We're
They're the same
part of
place.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
We were sent when we first investigated the Panathaik, it's because we'd been sent to the southern continent to investigate influence and sources of Orcus's power.
Sorry, not being able to visualize. My brain thinks everybody lives like here, so it's really hard to convince it that there's another place that's not here that exists, because as far as my brain is concerned, if I can't see it, I forget that it exists.
And in fact, that is perfectly appropriate for the people of what gets referred to as the known world, that is actually a very small component of the entire globe of Mystara.
I am hereby and now, whenever I leave my real address in this real world, I'm going to announce I'm off to explore the unknown worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sound a heck of a lot better than I'm going to the chemist. The other thing that I think Dimitri, I'm surprised, has not mentioned, he has been elevated to a master chef, because when Calcrix and a couple of other party members felt like they didn't quite want to enter Merc's magic mansion with its Orcus symbol, I'm aware that's 1 out of 3. I'm hoping not to say his name again, but the rest of you now have more. The Big O. We didn't want to go into the magic mansion because...
Also, just so you know, in the transcript, it takes every alternate name you say of him and converts it to Orcus. So no matter how many names you give it, you keep saying Orcus in the transcript.
For the benefit of the AI, when the AI is doing the summaries for Martin, the rest of the party refer to... Please.
The Big O.
Oh, come on, I made you copy.
Orcus?
As the Big O, because we know we do not want to say his name out loud 3 times, because that is the equivalent of summoning him. And as Merc has entered into a contractual agreement where he is now Merc's patron, we really don't want to do that. We've got enough of the Big O near us that as we need. But we made
To be fair,
Yep,
can I go on?
I was waiting for you.
I was going to say, to be fair, there is no problem with saying Orcus during the summaries, because that's not the character saying that in any way, shape or form.
That's
What the
2 out of
danger
3.
is
I would
getting
like...
in the habit of saying Orcus.
I'm interrupting you this time with no problem. Martin has put us all on notice. Players saying his name out loud count. Players get 3 goes and characters get 3. Is that correct?
Well, I would say that can't apply when we're talking a summary of the previous session.
Nope.
Still counts.
Rhiannon tried to have this discussion and persuade him otherwise, and Martin's like, if you believe so, but we'll see what happens if you say it again. We could say it again, but I would like to wait for AJ to be here and playing Merc before we invoke that. The point was, Dimitri is now a master chef and his apprentice is now Eep. And that was the only bit I wanted to add because I thought it was funny. Outside of, did we have a snowball fight?
I believe you did.
With fairy dragons?
I believe you did.
I have no memory of that.
Sounds familiar.
Was it?
I think
Like
they
a
were
play
just
fight?
throwing it at. I think they were just throwing snowballs at Hildren.
Oh.
It was
Hey,
that was Hildren's arrival back in the temple, where because the fairy dragons were amongst the early ones to arrive,
I see. So
and the blue dragons had caused a sudden return of winter to the well, hopefully not the entire southern continent, but certainly the area surrounding Hildren's domain.
I've got. Sorry.
I do have a quote from Dimitri.
Yes.
People recognize that white hair help indicate wisdom. It's a sacrifice I have to make. As he is now changed his hair color from red to black to white.
Well, because usually his hair originally was brown, but then when he was Emperor of Milos and recognised as the scion of Halav himself, his hair became red in line with Halav. But then, because he doesn't want to indignate himself in any way, shape or form, he deliberately uses his wig of disguise to previously make his red hair appear black. But hey, it's probably appropriate to make it white on occasion so that people tend to naturally recognise, they'll have a better chance of understanding that his advice comes from a place of wisdom.
So, Calcrix is a white dragon. Therefore, Dimitri, under his own logic, should recognise Calcrix as having wisdom.
No. You misunderstand. No, because it literally, Dimitri recognises that humans believe that, hey, white hair comes with age, wisdom comes with age, therefore white hair comes with wisdom, or wisdom comes with white hair, depending which way you look at it.
What race
White
is Dimitri?
White scale is completely irrelevant.
But just out of curiosity, what race is Dimitri?
Human.
Okay. Alright.
Take
a note.
Calm down.
I feel like there's a bit of a sweet spot there because if you wait too long, they go senile.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so it has been 3 days since you returned to Venmark. I can't actually pronounce it the way Hildren does.
Rhiannon does have an incredible capacity to pronunciate some very different consonants and vowels.
And how is your
My what?
confusion with
Jesus
your body?
is finally back into his own body and not sharing it.
Okay.
It was very confusing every time he had to relieve himself and eat, because if both bodies weren't doing it at the same time.
I see the
Yes.
incentive of a white chocolate caramel cookie as.
I'll eat that in a little bit.
I was just putting it over that way.
I got a bit hungry.
You do realise that to share.
Share what?
We'll share one now and then we'll share another later.
Yeah, I think you might get a quarter of a biscuit, Martin. if you
it's-
Well, I
want.
see there's four
Fine,
cookies
because-
and there's 4 personalities in here. That's one each.
I had a porterhouse steak, and that was why I was late.
How is your character dealing with their gender transition and their species transition, and is it just
Sidus has always not been complete. He's always been multiple things.
so? Does this make him feel more complete?
I mean, he knows what it's like being a human Air Ganassi woman now.
With connections to gods.
Yeah, that too.
Is your hair white
It's
now?
apparently the purpose of the exercise.
Oh,
I'd say his hair still resembles seaweed.
fair enough. Hi, Sean's mum. We forgot to say it last time, so let's say it again. Hi, Sean's mum.
Yeah, we did make it through a session without you acknowledging my mom.
Did she note it?
But she knows now because I mentioned it.
I also said it at the start.
Yes. Yeah, you did.
Does that mean you're making any drastic changes to your lifestyle, or
No.
no?
So, are we supposed to have been doing anything particular in the 3 days at Hildren's Keep Domain?
Some of you, it was research.
Okay, yeah. Certainly, as a player, I was thinking, oh, well, maybe we need to go back to check out, see how much ground has been lost in the Panathak with the recall of the Blue Dragon, Dragonborn. But Dimitri would also be perfectly happy to skip back to Quest Queton for a bit to check up what was happening there, and research, because you do the research on, start doing some on the potential options for the Storm King George's crown that he was saying, hey, yeah, we don't have to make any choice immediately.
I thought, going off my notes, we'd settled the Storm King's crown.
Yeah, from a character perspective, yes, it's been settled. That doesn't mean that Dimitri's not happy to go and do more research about it.
Okay, alright, fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that I haven't actually
Yeah,
forgotten important
as a
things.
player and as a character, he wasn't opening that can of worms again yet.
Have we been given an official new quest that we're doing now?
Technically, you got the quest that Hildren accepted.
Want to recover the Blue Dragon crown, so therefore he can take full control of the Blue Dragons and have better control over the Cal Rod and have Cal Rod actually do what she wants it to do as opposed to what the Rod decides, oh, that's what I feel like doing. I'll interpret your wishes in the way that I want them to be.
So Redrin has not given us a new quest. My understanding as a player is this bit about the Dragon Scepters ties in with Hildren's eventual retirement. Just to clarify, because I need to be smacked over the head, is this a party quest or is this just something that will...
It will be a party quest.
Okay, so we are actually researching these scepters and these crowns. Am I still waiting on information from the legend lore check that I did, specifically relating to the father of River, the Blue Dragon, leader, head of the Water Academy in Yularum? My goodness, I actually put that together.
You did do quite well. Okay, so he was probably the most respected of the Blue Dragons and their most accomplished spellcaster.
Does this mean, in terms of trying to approach him in helping Hildren gain a little bit better control over not making wishes where all the blue dragons etc. end up going to the wrong place, we approach Carl like we would Dimitri in fostering his ego? Or is it more a respected, we are understanding of his respected standing?
You would expect, based on what you researched, is that Cal very much fits in the trickster god style of how he does stuff.
Right.
because he believes that you don't learn unless you have to think your way through something. And if you just handed it, it is worthless.
Considering there is an Orion and Hildren tonight, is there a guide for what we might be setting our own goals towards for this session?
There is, because each of your characters will also be trying to figure it out what it is you're trying to achieve in this part of the story.
Okay.
Once they get
To not be dominated by Hildren, who is her friend, and not be sent off to a different place and not be made unable to do the mission she's doing, I think is Calcrix's goal. Who else is you're a dragon as well? So
Cetus is working on that.
Trellin is dragonborn, so he will also be bound.
He's an elf.
Oh no, you're an elf here. Sorry, I mixed up your Monday and
It's
your
fine.
Wednesday. Isn't it lucky that it is Trellin here and not Rakesh?
Maybe.
But he is a silver, and silver is technically related to white.
But that is Rakesh, not Trellin.
That is
So
Rakesh, yes.
Calcrix is the only one in this party that can be bound. I know you are on your way to Dragon, or is that one of the other games?
I don't think there's been many steps taken towards it, so I'm not going to say he's close to it.
It was a long-term goal, though.
Yes.
Were you studying dragonology?
He was going to do some of that at the school, but immediately upset somebody. I was like, I'm going to just keep my head down for now.
Calcrix can teach you dragonology. She is third tier, so she could technically teach you first tier.
Once you get permission.
Yes, I will figure out who we have to ask, actually. So you said you've got some ideas about how to handle the situation. You're taking steps. Does Cetus want to enlighten the rest of the party?
Sean the player hasn't thought about it.
Okay, but it is Cetus's intention that a part of maybe this session you might undertake some
At least
kind
take
of
the
research.
first steps of doing that.
Yep. Might involve speaking to your mother-in-law.
Okay, so now to get some notes down so we actually have notes of what we're planning.
Yep.
Does Calcrix specifically have any plans besides the not being enslaved is not really a plan, that's more of a desire.
So her plan that she was speaking about last session was doing research into the personality or the sentience that's within the scepter cow, a part of which was that legend lore, but it isn't the whole. Some of that will be speaking to the Great One, since he's the god of dragons. He is likely to have some kind of information. She also has a large family tree, such as the Shadow Dragon, the Lady of Shadows, whom she's made a really good relationship with. She may be a source of information. In terms of artifacts of power and things of power, it might be that we need to find out more about how to handle them.
Well, one of the things you did learn is, which was said last session, was that there was no bound quest until someone sat on their throne and said the magic words.
And Hildren has done that.
Having followed the advice of the thing without necessarily knowing who she was getting advice from.
Cal, I believe.
The scepter gave the advice.
The scepter tricked her into doing it before she needed to do it.
So
She was a bit distracted at the time, being half.
Well, she's not
Cetus
half.
at the time.
She is Cetus right now, outside of.
She
Scotty's body.
was Cetus.
Yeah, she's got everything about Cetus except his brain.
So Calcrix has blue, white,
And black.
and shadow.
Yes, so entropy. But she has officially, is it one green scale or one red scale?
One red scale.
One red scale. So she's got a toe into fire as well.
But the red scale is a magical item.
I thought that she had actually earned her way towards an actual fourth element.
Not yet. I
Okay.
did say that you have to wait until 16th level.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yes,
I'm happy to be
What tier?
corrected. So yes, just...
So you don't have a blue dragon.
No.
She's got blue, she's
Yep.
got black, and she's
Oh.
got white.
So I've started as a white.
So are you compelled to?
Yes. The
She felt
only
a very
reason...
slight tug when the command
Right.
went out.
The only reason I'm protected is because I'm the champion of Mistress Nyx, which is entropy. She's a goddess of entropy.
Right.
And because I'm her champion, she has shielded my mind against any compulsion to protect me from the master. Because the reason I'm her champion is she needs someone to fight the master. And anyone who puts a toe over the master's borders into his lands, that's a dragon, will come under his compulsion. They will have to serve him.
Right.
She is the only exception, and this is the only reason that right now she can resist the compulsion.
Cool.
But it may not be long term.
But that's only applying to blue dragons.
Yes.
Cool.
There are 10 scepters, though, so, and Martin said that some of the other scepters have ownership. So Calcrix is aware that if she can't figure out how to work around this, if someone's got the white and or the black scepter, she's going to be vulnerable to their compulsion as well.
Whereas each of those scepters will have a stronger pull on Calcrick because she's more aligned to those.
I'm white first, black
Second.
second, and blue last. So
And I guess on that line, we know that the 10th scepter was currently in the hand of the right hand of the master.
that's right.
Do we know what the 10th scepter's
Colour
influence
is?
is?
You do not.
Well, so far Calcrix hasn't felt any compulsions to do unnaturally evil acts, so she's hoping it's not white or black. But she might
But you
want to
also don't know how
actually...
much they're being used either. So.
You also suspect that it has been corrupted by the gnomish soulforge,
Okay,
which means it probably does stuff it wasn't designed to do.
true.
Yeah.
She may want to actually talk to Mistress Nyx as a part of these goals to find out how much shielding she has and exactly is how vulnerable she might be to betraying party members if she comes under the influence of someone who has a scepter and a crown.
Well, you'd probably see just as much as anyone else who comes under the dominate person spell. There's a magical spell that will do that on
Everyone.
humanoids. No,
Yeah.
only on
You'd also technically then be asking an immortal to admit the limits of their power and protection.
Mistress Nyx won't fall into that hole very quickly. Calcrix
But
has
it's
asked
okay,
her
but
those
like,
questions
Nyx is
before.
providing you protection. If you ask her, how much protection will that give me? Oh, absolutely, you'll be fine, don't worry about it. Like my power, you'll be good.
No, Mistress Nyx has already told Calcrix that all of her protections are limited depending on who's challenging them. She is one of the few transparent gods out there. She wants Calcrix to know, if you've got other protections that you can put in place, use them. Don't rely on me.
It's also why the cookies only last a day for everyone
Yeah.
else. She won't give her protection for longer than that to people other than her avatars.
Speaking of which, Calvary
Cool.
sends out cookies. So that's Calcrix's goals.
That was the whole point of what she did, was she provides her protection to people at the cost of basically requiring Calcrix to provide it. If Calcrix doesn't provide it, you don't get her protection.
Yep.
Okay, so Calcrix is basically doing a lot of research. I'll come to the rest of the group after Dimitri, because I know Jeremy is probably pretty thoughtful of what his character would like to have been doing and planning, because this can also represent what your character wants to, what goals they want to achieve in the next couple of levels.
Okay. Well, as I said, the important part, realising that we had at least a few days that when, okay, we don't need to go and check on the Panathak, or we find immediately that the Panathak has, well, not been lost due to the loss of the Blue Dragon Born, sold the guardsman, but yeah. So he'd be going back to Questqueton for a couple of days, mainly to confirm the situation, because technically with his homunculi he can actually keep reasonably good track of what's going on there, but hey, it's been a while since he's been back in town, so it's certainly a case of confirming everything's on track. As part of that, finding out any recent news of the war front, as far as it's known to the people of Karamikos, as opposed to getting the information directly from Redrian. He basically wants to find out, okay, what do people believe is happening and how it's going on.
Okay,
and then, he'll do a bit of research on the Storm King's crown, that he said that, hey, that's what we need to know about before we make any decisions. But I'm happy that's much longer term goal. So.
Okay, so first I'll give you the people situation on what's happening in Darrakan.
Yep.
As far as the people are concerned, it's going great. The master's not coming their way.
The Atruaghin have managed to stop the advance and gone through, as far as they're concerned.
Considering all the people in that your domain has access to, probably goes all the way up to Selenica. As far as they're concerned, the master's not coming. They're all saved.
Right.
Because do you really think that they're going to learn the intricate details of what's actually happening in the war?
Absolutely, no, this is what I'm saying. The fact that, like, this is part of what he was curious about. Was like, okay, what do the public believe? How's the propaganda machine going for the Darrakan side?
Okay, so from the noble side of things, the nobles have all been called upon to dig deep into their coffers, pull out every cent they can, and start buying food from any nation that can supply it. Mm-hmm. Because Darrakan's not going to be growing anything for a few years.
Yep.
Which is the breadbasket of the region. So the main food supplier for nearly every nation you know no longer has a food supply coming in. And that means this winter that they don't have a stockpile. Darrakan's always had an oversupply. So they provided nearly every grain, vegetable, and fruit you can imagine that is a staple in everyone's food. It may not be the most flavorful or the most fantastical, but it has made everyone full and able to afford food.
Excellent. Well, there's a reason that famine is part of the apocalypse, one of the four horsemen.
Mm-hmm. And the quiet talk through Karamikos is there's not enough food to go around.
Yep.
they have enough food to maybe feed a tenth of the population with magic.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about magical sustained feeding just to get them through winter.
Yep.
Which from Dimitri's perspective is quite horrific news, because that's quite a lot of people you can't save even if you do well.
Yep.
So finding another food source may actually become the people's champion, which is probably something Dimitri would love to add to his awards and trophy list.
Well, no, he'd be willing to put himself out there and sacrifice his own advancement and goals just to help the people, because he's just that kind of guy.
If only you knew someone who could travel back in time and leave a stockpile of excess food that is preserved to get them through the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a hint?
Well, he doesn't know how to travel through time, but I'm sure that's something he's thought about.
Okay, but I mean, hey, there are options. We'll come up with plan A, B, and C. Because unfortunately, yes, he's most most well-known time travel he's aware of at the moment. He's a bit busy right now, so.
And expected to be busy during both major famines.
Yeah. And it's not like he ever really liked Basil that much. Kept stealing from him.
Ariadna?
So Mount Dread has got extensive fields and lands and has been preparing for war since its inception. So it has been sending Darrakan supplies. Obviously it can't send.
That's what I said
supplies.
about they estimate about 10% based on what the player characters have been doing.
Yeah.
If player characters weren't involved, it would be a lot grimmer.
Yes.
I had projected
We've already done
about
some
1%.
something to go, but there's more needed.
Yes.
So if the players hadn't tried to help, it would be 1% survival chance for people. If players had gone out of the way to make it harder, then they could literally have depopulated the region based on the fact that food was going to be so scarce. The halflings would survive quite well for some time.
But it is certainly something that, because of Dimitri's origins, having been hungry for much of his childhood, he's certainly keen to work out ways to stop starvation and famine.
So, in those terms, Martin, I know Mount Dread has been specifically sending things. Does that mean places like as Karamikos and
Karamikos faces the same food shortage because while they grow and produce food, majority of their food comes from Darrakan. All the countries of the known world have relied on Darrakan for so many years to produce excess food on the cheap that they have stopped doing it themselves.
So, well, places like, I know Luol's domain has been also set up and dedicated to Luol, being from Monday Group. For people who aren't familiar, I think that might only be Cetus.
We're familiar with Luol from Monday Group.
So when is it presumed that all players are sending things from their domains, or just those players who specifically dedicated resources and downtime?
Just the people who dedicated that they were doing it. Because Trellan's people are...
Well, they can go off to the Fae.
They're not producing food for the populace. They're basically producing intel on what Trellan does.
As one of Calcrix's activities, then, is it possible that she can send a representative from Mount Dread that personally represents her with full seals and all the heraldry that comes with her name to any of the places of party members from technically Monday, Wednesday and Friday, people that Cow Creek Snows, and say, could you please, I know resources are limited, but any spares, could you spend a little bit of your, in player words, downtime and resources, and send a little bit towards Darrakan if you're not doing that already. And it will just be a request.
And that is possible.
And if members of this party are happy, she will see if Trellon can do the scroll work, because his calligraphy is
Yes.
impressive. And if each party member, would someone like Drusilla might be willing to put her support behind such a request?
From what I have seen of her reactions to these things, I'm going to say probably not.
Okay.
No, she would send some help. Maybe a plague of poisonous creatures to help thin the herd, so less people need food.
Yeah, less people starve
As I
that
said,
way.
not really help.
I was meaning in, like, we will make... Calcrix will write...
I understand what you
missive?
mean, but I'm just going from the way Drusilla interprets helping humanity
Okay.
is by getting rid of humanity so nature can take over.
Could we put the request slightly differently?
Perhaps we could ask his other mothers.
You
You've
have
got to
other
remember
mothers?
that
He has 3.
Could we? Who are they?
Could we also go, Jeremy?
I was going to say, you've got to remember that is a significant part of the reason why we're down in the southern continent, or why Hildren has been set up down in the southern continent. A, to provide a safe refuge for scions of the known world kingdoms,
Yeah.
but also, presumably, the recognition that, hey, we're going to have food issues. If you can start getting some food supply happening from the southern continent that shouldn't be affected by the Master's influence, then it can be sent up through the teleportation circles. So,
And Calcrix
so
said
obviously,
that
I'd like to think that's already in the pipeline for down here in the southern continent.
it's
So.
more just a diplomatic thing that Calcrix is aware that has some influence. If, say, out of the potential 18 odd players / characters over the 3 groups, only 5 of them have put anything towards this, encouraging the other 13 to do so as a diplomatic envoy is something that she can do in the background, that she's inviting the other characters here to support by adding their name to this diplomatic envoy. So if one of Cetus's mothers is a person of influence, she might say, the queen of, or empress of whichever empire. The missive would go like the Calcrix, empress and holder of Mount Dread, Cetus, son-in-law of queen this, queen that, queen that. You're using all the influence. Oh, well, these important people have asked us to put a little bit of stuff towards Darrakan. For all we know, player-wise, 18 sessions down the road, that could pay off for Darrakan and be the thing that gets them through. And that's kind of all she's just trying to do.
Okay, so they also wanted to give other people a chance to say stuff.
By all means.
So, what about Cetus? Have you got any thoughts for what Cetus would like to contribute? Now that you've got your own body back?
Problem with Cetus is he has a domain of his own, because I think it's in Darrakan.
That's okay. Doesn't mean you can't.
And he has
And
also only spent about 3 months there. So he doesn't have the influence that you would
I
need
think
for that.
Martin is looking at how are you contributing to the rise of the scepters and the crown of the Dragon Lord's quest. Calquix is doing research because that's kind of what she does. She's added this other thing in the background.
Dimitri's doing
doesn't
research.
need to dominate.
'cause that's also what he does. Is
Really
Cetus
the question is, what are you doing for the next 3 days other than trying to get your own body back?
and Cetus getting his own body back? Does that mean he goes on a drinking bender?
Cetus would like to try and contact the lady below to ask her some questions.
If she could provide fish,
She can probably provide more than fish. The problem is that she's kind of busy with her position in guarding the body of the Storm King.
Doesn't mean she can't
Well, that's only
delegate.
one of her charges.
Yeah.
Fairly sure
The
she can
other-
delegate at her level.
The other thing I wanted to contact her about is that I think story-wise, it'd make more sense for Cetus to go with the Kraken transformation over the dragon. Especially with all his knowledge that he now has of how easy it is to control dragons. He's been controlled by powerful beings most of his life. He doesn't want to do that.
And the fact that some people are going out of their way to put dragons right in the middle of everything.
No, Calquix is tempted to just quietly try to steal this scepter and somehow make it not a quest anymore.
Do we know what happens if we reach the end of the time limit and she doesn't have the crown?
She dies.
I know player-wise, I know that she might revive from that. I
She
don't
won't.
want to risk it.
No,
Yeah, that's
she-
what I was
She won't revive from that, but
Because a artifact will consume her.
Yeah.
there are ways to complete the contract or shift the contract onto somebody else.
But she can die many times until she achieves that.
So, I would like to contact. I'm gonna accident. If I call her the mother below, it's because I'm referencing something else, and I think it fits with the character.
You've got 3 mothers already, why not add a 4?
Well, she is one of the 3
Oh, well there you go.
because his Kraken half
It's
is
perfectly
her
appropriate
son.
to call her the mother below to separate her from the other mothers.
Exactly.
He's got his elf mother, he's got his mother-in-law, and he's got the mother below.
I see, that does clarify things. So you're
Are
going
you
to
feeling a bit
contact
henpecked?
the big lady.
What?
I'll bring over the 1750 and
Followers?
and have them start digging for
Farming?
farming
Rice fields.
rice fields. Yeah.
Whatever is the most efficient and least resource draining method of producing large amounts of food to feed large amounts of people quickly.
Problem is that I think we're currently in an artificial winter because of all the blue dragons.
I am fairly sure the blue dragons can create less.
Well, technically, you're supposed to be going into autumn, winter, having just come out of summer in the southern continent.
Yeah.
And the fact that winter came early.
Is it? But my understanding is you have blue dragons, you have the Water Academy in Nalarum, and that is not frozen over, nor is it cold.
Nor is it the entire population of blue dragons.
We
Right.
also have the fire mages, I think. They were one of the people who came down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that helps, but we have them.
Right, you sure it also has something to do with the scepter? It's not just the dragons that are causing it to go cold.
Rather than just doing research, then, is it possible that some of us might try to have, I guess, meetings probably comes under research as well, but actual meetings with people who might know how to help in this situation?
That is something you can do. I was just also trying to give everyone else a chance.
Yep.
because we've got Trellin who's going to bring over his followers to try to do some winter farming.
Yes.
Did you want to attempt anything else with Trellin?
No, I'm in command. So I'll...
Dig there, dig this way, put your back into it.
I can add assistance because...
These are all the followers from the Elven Forest, are they not?
No, they're from the Fae. So I can command them to come into the real lands and...
Calgary has a question for Trellin, which is, they come from the Feywild, yes? Or the Feylands?
The Fey lands.
Is food in good supply there?
Yes, they can provide as much food as you like.
Do not eat food from the Fae.
So, food from the Feywild, you can't bring it into the real
Well, no, you can
world.
bring it into the real world.
But it doesn't affect people the same way.
No, it will affect them the same way if they're in the Feywild.
If they eat the food, they owe something. They owe the Fae.
Okay. Can the Fae say, you owe me a thank you? Is that possible? Because I
Wording
know
is
with
important.
Eep, her thing for giving out the cookies, she's Fae. As long as you say thank you when you take a cookie from her, that's the contract is sealed. That's it. It's been and done. You just have to say thank you, and you don't owe her anything else. Otherwise, you would owe Eep a debt no one could pay, probably in the amount of fairy dragons she would like to be delivered wild for supper. So, does that work with your Fae people?
I can bring over 1,750 and have them dig tunnels.
Okay.
And do it...
so that the Fae people he can bring over are all elves.
Yes. So,
Whereas if they were to bring some of the actual Fae food along, they're not the ones who get to determine the bargain.
So the Calcrits is trying to figure out, if there's plenty of food there, is it feasible to transfer that food to here? And the answer is no. No, you can't.
So a bunch of people may find themselves bound to the Fae wild instead.
Okay, so it's not a good idea, is the end result. The idea of just having the workers help and set up something
Well, the Fae food is
more...
a good emergency solution for a future problem.
Yeah. It's
Well,
out there.
as long as they can dig tunnels, because I'm a tunnel halfling, and I can... we can dig into the rock, and it's
You're
all
talking
fine.
about setting up a subterranean farming area. I'm going to borrow from the Rings of Power, where they figure out a way to filter sunlight in there, and they have masses amount of food no matter what the weather was, as long as there was sun.
I feel like this is something Cetus could help with, as he has a background being from a farming family. He also has a tunnel halfling companion.
So you guys could...
Combine forces.
Yeah. There's a... Not liaise, there's another word where people work together.
I don't know.
Sorry?
Cooperate?
Yes. Cooperate. I'm sorry, my brain's not very good at even simple words sometimes.
I was trying to think of a more complicated word, and I was like, what word are you thinking of? Because
Look, I live in a world right now where every time I put my dinner in the microwave and I step away from it, I forget that I've got dinner in the microwave, and then I wonder why I'm hungry 4 hours later.
did you get your dinner from the microwave?
No, and I'm like, I am really hungry, and I keep not quite making it out back to the microwave to get my dinner.
Did you end up making the lasagna?
Yes, I did. I will heat up your food, then forget that I have dinner.
I will try to remind you when you get back. Because I tend to forget that myself and go, oh, I should put something on, I'm hungry, and open the door and going, oh, that's why I'm hungry.
My mum did that with her coffees. She'd put it in the microwave and then leave for work. And I'd message her like 5 hours later. It's like, you left your coffee in the microwave.
And that way you send back, enjoy, left it for you.
I don't drink coffee. I don't like it.
Eventually you will, because it'll be like, I can now stay awake.
That's what this stuff's for.
So yes, it is now the 18th day of the month, and I was going to see if something special happens on that day for you all, because I do have a timeline. What happens on the 18th day?
Sun rises in the west. Hang on, no, had that already.
Magic goes crazy. Everything is cast at 9th level. That was a fun one.
It is the night of the red moon. Everybody can go nuts.
We had a similar one, I think, when we attacked the keep, when it was under goblin control.
Okay, so there are no special events happening around this time of year for you, at least within that day's couple side of it. You are coming up to the 3/4 moon waning, which is basically just saying the moon's getting smaller. Which is not a bad thing to happen at this time of year, as it is the I believe it's the white moon for you on the southern continent and the green moon for those of the northern continent.
Mm-hmm.
With white representing autumn and green representing spring.
God, I've got a good left leg. That's to shield her from the heat.
Thank you. You did well. So there is much that you can go about doing. You've heard from Rapanathak that they are still guarding the levels, so you haven't lost any ground since you've been away.
Oh.
And with the number of dragons you have coming into the area, it seems that a lot of the local beasts and monsters have decided that they're going to give your little domain a lot more space.
Cool.
The Red King.
The Red King is quite happy because now he's got people to play with.
Fair enough.
And they're more than happy to call him king.
He's not.
Who is this guy?
Big Bear in the forest who thinks he's the king of the
Oh,
forest.
okay. Yeah.
Sort of like I'm standing on the front of a ship going, I'm king of the world.
Who's king of the world?
Someone standing on the prow of a ship.
Oh, that's Eve. Every time Calcrease gets on a ship, she just holds Eve out at the end of the prow.
Apparently the dragons recognize the Red King as king of the forest.
Interesting. The blue dragons? And where does Hildren sit in this command structure?
As far as they're concerned, I'd rather defer to the Red King than to Hildren.
Does the blue scepter allow that?
I'm sure the Blue Scepter finds that hilarious.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Hildren probably doesn't mind.
It's one less, more people. There's less people bowing down to her.
But it does mean if the Red King says wipe out the city.
He wouldn't do that. We promised him a fighting pit.
Have you had an energy drink yet?
Yes.
I could do with one.
I might need
Go
some
for it.
hands.
And Drusilla has basically requested you come and explain.
Sorry, your message is Lesson's currently unavailable.
Do you mind giving that to Martin and putting that somewhere near where I sit?
It shows up basically attached to a dead crow.
Yeah. Just give this to me.
Slightly crispy.
Crispy as in lightning?
I'm guessing it got
If that
intercepted
says
by a dragon.
uncomfortable mutton, you can always swap to that one.
Yeah, it's fine. I've got to charge my laptop because I left it
Done.
vacant.
I do. I haven't charged it properly.
I try to leave mine on the charge most of the time because I overuse the battery.
I will go talk to Drusilla.
Okay, so looking at it, it does sort of indicate that you need to bring explainers.
I'll grab Dimitri, I guess. He can explain.
You sure you want Dimitri?
He loves
Dimitri
talking.
explaining?
He loves talking.
To
He'll explain
Drusilla?
everything.
Okay. Maybe you should take Trellin too. You just
He's sorting out the underground farming stuff.
No, I was. Well, I was.
In character. Is that
No, it's
Character.
Friday's group.
okay?
Well, he seems to have gotten that in hand, and they are more than happily singing "Diggy Diggy Hole" in the background.
tell me it's the
Classic dwarven music.
80s disco dance remix.
And they're doing it completely out of tune.
Your followers aren't
Somewhere else?
the best at this.
No, they never said they were musical.
Yeah,
You could
fair
always
enough.
take Hildren.
Hilden's got enough on her plate. Dimitri seems like he's got some spare time.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm not sure Drusilla might. Yeah. She might.
I don't think Drusilla likes any of us.
I believe she likes cow cricks. She's
I would
done
say
some
she
really
respects
nice
you.
things. I think she's given me 3 gifts now. Does she normally give people gifts?
Not unless it's beneficial
Plagues.
to her as well.
She's very good at giving people plagues as a gift. Curses.
She's given me 2 magic items and then she gave me some herbs and things and teas.
It's the nicest you've ever heard of Drusilla being to anyone who wasn't her daughter. And her daughter's gotten some really nasty gifts.
Yeah.
Considering you were one of them.
Oh, come on, that has to be the bestest gift anyone got as far as cow cricks is concerned.
A slight squid-like reincarnated husband.
He's a lot of fun to play with. And he's good in a fight.
Trying so hard to avoid those jokes.
Whether you can just stick to things.
No, I just.
Once you go squid, you won't go back.
Yep.
Tentacles are us.
I thought this was PG.
I could have said worse.
Alright, let's move on. You're
I-
taking Dimitri to see Drusilla.
Yes. Dimitri explain?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to achieve?
Explain why there's so many dragons here.
Because they got inadvertently called.
You might need a longer explanation than that.
Cetus wants to take you in person to go and see Drusilla. Cetus's presence has been requested.
And that he has to bring somebody to explain.
Well, is there a reason why that's important?
Well, Cetus seems to think you've got nothing better to do and you've got spare time.
Well, no, because the only reason I haven't been saying anything so far was the fact that we were going through what people were doing in the first few days after
Yeah.
returning to
Okay, so
Hildren's domain.
I will add that this happened after the 3 days had passed.
Yeah. And in
now
which
playing.
case, then I was going to say that after that had gone through, Dimitri would be saying, well, if we're not going off in search of the Blue Dragon Crown immediately and or any of the other longer term activities, then since we're down here, it's probably appropriate to continue to clear out the Panathak to try and remove the influence of other beings in the area.
Yes.
Are we able to, now that we've all discussed out what we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
is the next step now to start trying to put that information together and work towards that goal, or is it?
You can literally do that or other things at the same time. Just that I did put in there that Drusilla had put in a demand to seat it.
Would this then be a case that the whole party could go, or just that Dimitri?
The whole party could go, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, you can come along if you want.
The party's looking for something to do this session.
Mm,
This could be our first step along our journey towards the crown.
And yeah, we could ask Drusilla about it whilst we're there. Did I get any
You have
information?
reason to think that Drusilla knows anything about the Storm Giant's crown?
I don't think it's the Storm Giant, it's the crown for the Blue Scepter.
Oh, sorry, the Blue Dragon crown? Yeah, sorry.
But she had
Any reason why you think that Drusilla's got any knowledge on that?
information on where the Storm Giant King was, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's got much to
She
do with the
has
Blue
in-
Dragon's crown.
Plus, she also has access to knowledge from the first elven civilization, which has been lost to most people.
Yeah, the Elder Druids tend to live a very long time. Well, Arch Druids, I think is what they're called. She's an elf and she's a druid. She lives long.
So this is a little bit less direct than what we normally
Okay, so it's not specifically thinking she knows about the Blue Dragon's crown, just the fact that she tends to be a knowledgeable person.
Yes.
Yep, fair enough. That's fair.
If you can get on her good side.
But we have the opportunity to ask somebody who may have information a question. We may as well ask them. Because worst case scenario, she tells us to go away. Best case, she tells us exactly where the crown is. It's unlikely. But if it helps get the dragons out of her land faster, she would probably help us with that.
Is it a case that we need to travel there? Does the dead, slightly roasted crow act as a teleportation device?
I would expect it's likely that on our way to a Panathak we might get she might come and say, why are you going through my terrain? I've got some questions for you.
If you want to try and fly directly to Rapanafak, you're probably going to get intercepted by some giant eagles. Or seagulls, depending on how she's feeling for the day.
And then turn up at the Battle of Five Armies at the Lonely Mountain.
Yeah, that too.
I collect rings. I'm in for it.
Do you have any, like, a really special one that maybe a small halfling man might
Well,
really
well
want?
we have our archer.
Okay, so
Why do I get the
we've
feeling I'm
ended
boring
our
you?
3 days. We've done our research. We will find out more information when the time is appropriate, I gather. So now the dead crows turned up with a "please come and see me" from Drusilla.
Don't worry, it's only written in someone's blood.
Have I got that right?
Yeah.
So we've packed our supplies and what we're heading towards. How do we know where to go?
I lived there for about 80 years.
Okay, so we follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, she's been known to use the druid groves that you have access to shortcut things. Meaning that if she moves to one of her alternate locations, you don't have to hunt and find her.
We could go through the teleportation circle and meet her on the northern continent, as opposed to flying to
It
a
does,
grove
it
down
does
here.
go to the other groves in the southern continent. Just that no one else in the settlement knows how to activate it that way. You've got to ask Drusilla for it.
Okay, so shall we do that?
Yeah, would Theus would take them the shortest route he knows to one of her groves.
You can use the one in the settlement to get there, because she actually created that one.
I thought. Wait, it's the one in Hildren's.
She helped create it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so stepping through, you go from what feels like winter to a more chilly autumn. Though by the looks of things, you've gone way further south.
Or out of the influence of the blue dragons around town.
And you can actually see a coastline to the south.
Is this significant?
Cool.
It is, because it is way beyond any vision even Dimitri's seen, no matter how high up he went.
I was about to say, yeah, Dimitri's certainly going to go and take a look up and get a better overview of this area of the continent. Update his internal maps.
The only map we currently have of the southern continent, the whole coastline is on the north side of it. We haven't seen the southern shorelines.
We can make updates to our maps then.
And looking at it, it is quite an extensive coast. Much like the one you were used to going north to south along the along the eastern side of where you are. This one just seems to keep going east to west.
So we appear to be not only further south, we've actually gone somewhat further west as well, because we've left that eastern shoreline.
You do not see the eastern shoreline at all.
Yep.
But then
Okay.
you did know Drusilla had other points of access. I will give each of you a roll, a nature roll, to see if you can figure out just how far you've gone.
Certainly, otherwise we're looking at the stars coming out type stuff to get an idea as well. But Dimitri's also thinking about, okay, are we still on the southern continent, or have we managed to go to a different continent in the world? Or maybe a different world. Yeah. Dimitri got 20.
I got natural 20.
And you dropped all your dice.
That's right.
So natural 20 for Trellin, a 20 for Dimitri.
Yep.
17.
17 for Cetus.
So that was 26.
26 is a good roll.
That gives me a 25.
The 25 is also a good roll. So I would say Cetus goes, yep, you're on land somewhere. Not exactly sure which part, but you're sure you're still on the southern continent somewhere.
Yep.
I would say that Dimitri would be able to confirm, but Dimitri would be able to add, he believes you're actually below the Antarctic circle of the world, meaning you're in what's considered one of the colder zones. Not exactly sure where, but it's actually warmer than where you were.
Right. Because of the absence of blue dragons?
Because it hasn't actually gone full winter here yet.
Okay. Yep.
Kind of yes.
And Trellin and Calcrix both recognise that you are technically on the western edge of the southern continent, based on what you can see. Both of you having seen various things over time. Access to maps others haven't seen.
But if we can't be that close to the western edge on the fact that because we still were clearing a western coast, were we?
To put it in perspective, Jeremy, the continent you're on, you could literally be, unless you're on the western tip, on the western side still has long east-west stretches.
Yeah, okay, no, with that, but yes, we haven't reached the corner of the western edge, I guess, in that sense.
The western edge is a long slope, so unless you have an exact compass pointing which way is east and west, it will give you an idea of. It's so long you're not really sure which way is which, especially with the world curving. Which is nice compared to the people on Monday night who see it curve the other way, towards them instead of away. And Trellin remembers from his halfling days, there was maps of this place.
Ah, nice.
Halflings have been here.
Cool.
This was one of the ancient elven outposts that the halflings used to deal with.
Right. And
still on the halfling maps, lost to everyone else.
So, from my Friday group, they have shadow elves or whatever, So, are they complementary to this?
Well, the outpost belonged to the first elven civilization, which ended up becoming shadow elves as well as others.
Okay.
So the shadow elves are descendants of the people who ran the first civilization.
Okay.
The high elves are descendants of those from the second elven civilization.
Right.
And the wood elves are those of the third elven civilization.
Okay.
Which is also ended.
Mm.
So these civilizations haven't lasted, but their relics and settlements are still extensive.
So, on the northern tip and the southern tip, are they connected in some way?
The elves retreated from the south to the north during a great migration after stupid people blew up the world.
Okay.
Which is why the forest and the high elves say technology must be destroyed.
Okay.
And those who advance technology must be destroyed. Including dwarves, which is why they hate dwarves. They don't hate dwarves for being dwarves, they hate dwarves for inventing.
Right.
Because invention is bad. Invention leads to the world blowing up.
No worries.
Question. Do these elves use indoor or outdoor plumbing?
They're the ones of the place where you're at.
Yeah.
They would be probably amongst the most high-tech looking elven settlements you'd ever seen.
Right. So they use technology,
You can't even tell what the plumbing does.
but technology is bad.
The first elven civilization was there when the world blew up.
Oh, okay. So they don't think technology is bad
They abandoned this entire region.
because they decided technology was bad.
No, the world blew up.
Right.
They basically lost access to nearly everything that made their world work and had to leave it.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out who was saying technology was bad.
The elves who remained on the surface were basically told by their god technology was bad and it became their religion.
Okay.
So Ilsandal, the god of the elves,
Yeah.
who made the Tree of Life, basically made it one of their first mandates. You do see that there is parts of this that remind you of the tower you found in north of Wenda with I'm trying to remember the name of the nation because my brain's missing words.
Like the one that had the black dragon and that came through and it took off like a rocket.
Yep.
The Shadow
Yep.
Lords.
Yep, the Shadow Lord's Tower, yes.
Vitriol.
Yes, it reminds you of that area. The design, the materials, all seem to be very similar in make and design.
So this tower may be a rocket ship.
It may be a rocket ship, it may even just be having designed along the same principles.
Okay. How many, because we know Regerin, do all of us understand what technology is?
Most of you have gotten an understanding of it,
Okay, cool.
even if you don't use it a lot.
Well, we'll know that if we say, when did that rocket ship turn up, everyone else will hear, when did that expletive word I can't understand gibberish turn up. But if we talk amongst the party, we all understand.
I believe all of you understand
Yep.
technology.
Okay.
So Trollan will have the weirdness of he's supposed to hate this stuff, but he never got brought up hating this stuff.
That's right, because I was a halfling.
I was going to say, that's the advantage of being brought up a halfling and then
Mhm.
turning into an elf.
He hasn't been indoctrinated yet by the Tree of Life.
Exactly.
Believe this or die, believe this or die.
Well, because I am bound to Fatal, I don't understand. But anyway.
Hey, the whole thing is your character hasn't gone through indoctrination to be a certain way.
Right.
You can literally go against what they believe because you haven't been made to believe it.
Okay.
Which is also part of the whole reason behind the war, is that's also the reason for the war. There are people who aren't made to follow the beliefs of the others, and that has made them want to get rid of them and start the war. So there'll be some elves who want to get rid of you because you aren't made to follow what they are.
No worries.
But luckily for you, you moved your group way away from them. So yes, you do see Drusilla standing next to an open door.
Okay.
Do you want to do the introductions?
Let's go in.
Do you greet her? Do you say, do you remember my party members? And introduce Trellan, Dimitri, and Calvrix?
You've all met her.
In some sort of guise.
Calvrix does not understand this lack of etiquette living in the world of dragons, where if you meet another dragon, there is a set protocol of things that you follow. She's just going to apply that protocol to Drusilla because she doesn't understand anything really outside of that. She feels like she wouldn't be respecting this person, so she will present Drusilla with a she's woven together some vines into what looks like a little cowcrix with a little eep, and inspired by the Titanic reference earlier, the position is cowcrix holding eep up like eep is Simba, or she's on the prow of a ship and eep is waving her leaves and her vines, enjoying the wind through her leaves. And if she's allowed to add a magical touch to it, when you first look at it, it looks like the wind is blowing through Eep's leaves.
Which does sound very cool.
And Calcrix's crown looks like the one when she's the Empress of the Wild Hunt. She's got a crown made out of flowers and vines and trees. It's a living crown. And she presents that to Drusilla as a happy remembrance, hopefully.
Drusilla is happy to receive,
What language?
which is one of the few times you actually see her smile.
What language does Drusilla speak?
She normally speaks Sylvan.
Calcrix knows Sylvan, so she will greet her in Sylvan, just like you would greet a dragon in Draconic. She hopes these are close enough to the right etiquette.
I think you're forgetting that you're technically her boss in the Wild Hunt.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't respect your peers.
He might be afraid of you.
I'm not sure. Eep offers up a cookie in good-heartedness. That's what Eep does.
She happily takes a cookie.
As far as Calcrix is concerned, we're all equals here, and everyone can have a cookie.
We are not equals.
So, Amulet of Language of Thanatos. Does that allow me to...
Understand, yes.
Yes. Cool.
Does Dimitri introduce himself again?
I'm assuming that Cetus is home. He's taken the lead, has he not?
He has by doing nothing.
Yeah.
This is not my home. I live at the other one.
But you're going to see your family.
Yeah, Calcrix is
The
kind of
reason
like...
we're here is for you to talk to your mum.
Yeah. Well, his mother-in-law, I believe.
This is my mother-in-law.
She's demanded his presence.
Your family is what the point, like, so, yeah.
Yep.
So, like in the sense that Cetus has called on the party to intrude upon his family's home.
And that's why Calcrix has applied her knowledge of dragon etiquette to this situation, because she doesn't feel comfortable walking into somebody else's home without greeting her and showing her some respect.
And that's appropriate, that's fine. But Dimitri's expecting that the humanoid, if not necessarily human as such, is, hey, you've asked us back to your home, effectively, to your family home. So, and technically, it's not like we need introductions, because we've all met Drusilla before, and Drusilla's all met us before. So,
On the bright side, she hasn't killed you yet.
Yeah.
so
Is this the reason why Calcrix is the only person out of all the parties that Drusilla actually interacts with and is nice to? Because she's the only one who's like, "It is nice to see you again, Mistress Drusilla. I have thought about this meeting and I brought something for you, because I'm not just going to walk into your home without a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates or something. Thank you for welcoming us here, even though it was more of a demand. I still know how to be polite.
Might also because you're the only one who hasn't been associated with Genrick.
That's true.
That's true. I don't know. How do you greet Drusilla? Do you just wander in, or
I've met Genrick, and I don't have any respect for Drusilla.
Oh, okay. So are you the opposite then? Are you just like, I'm not talking to you?
Well, I might make it.
We've had like 3 interactions with her. One where she tried to kill us, one where she was gambling, and then one where like, hey, can we set up a kingdom in your lands?
In terms of Calcrix's logic, just being polite this way, it shows her survival, if nothing else. But you've got to keep this person cooperative. If you look at this in purely diplomatic terms, being nice to them shouldn't hurt. So far, being nice to Drusilla hasn't equaled negative consequences for Calcrix. It's not one of these reverse situations where you're mean and nasty to each other as an act of friendship. So she figures, at the very least, we should be polite and respectful in this person's home.
I'm being polite and respectful by not saying anything. Because the demand was for me to bring somebody else to speak.
And you nominated Dimitri, didn't you?
Yes, he
Are
loves
you
to
at
speak.
least going to tell her that? I brought Dimitri. You wanted someone to explain.
No,
So how does she know who's speaking for you?
because Dimitri will start speaking.
Okay. Well, Dimitri's just said he's following your lead, and you've done.
Well, no. So hang on. So, what was the reason we stepped through the Druid's Grove?
Because we need to explain to Drusilla what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've been told to get someone to explain to Drusilla what's going on. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, when we first arrived through the Druid's Grove, the first thing Dimitri did was actually fly up in the air because he thought, oh, hang on, this is a new area, where we gone? So, depending upon the interactions, like I say, Calcrix may well have been doing talking at that point in time, but like when Drusilla turned up, I don't know. But, like I say, certainly, you've brought us here, so Dimitri is definitely... Sorry, go. He's looking at her, right? Yep. What are you doing?
I just
Yeah,
want
okay. Calcrix has done something you can actually perfectly appropriate.
This is the player looking at a camera. Rhiannon, I miss you. Can you come back and just, you're not allowed to be sick, for goodness sakes. We don't have a party leader, and this is what happens.
So what's Genrick doing? I mean,
I'm also wondering what Genrick's doing, as far as I know. If you look in the backyard, it's probably a very shallow grave for him.
Yeah. Cetus. What is Cetus doing?
He's going inside and sitting down.
Okay, well, Dimitri will follow it.
I feel like this is like the mother's in-law's house, but Cetus is kind of like a teenager. Just walks in, sits down, and just like, I'm here.
This is her resort. A beach house.
Okay, so walking
So
in.
Dimitri will follow it. Oh, yeah. It's an interesting location. Yeah. Long way from home.
Walking inside seems to be just a small round room with nice seats around the outside walls.
Cool.
Thank you for your hospitality.
She gestures for you to take seats as she sits down.
Yeah. I know Cetus has said he's come in and he sat down. I presume Dimitri does the same.
Does Dimitri enter after the others have gone in?
Yeah, I said when Cetus had said he walked in, Dimitri would walk in following, thinking, okay, well, if you that's so, apparently, what the conversation will happen inside, which is perfectly reasonable conversation. But yeah,
Okay, so
he'll say he'll wave a greeting if that involves walking past Priscilla. But
I'm just gonna go on record. If any of you guys come here not on a game night, you just walk into my house and sit down without saying hi to me, you're gonna really feel that in terms of you'll be uninvited very quickly.
absolutely, hey, Dimitri's following the lead of the local.
You are not my mother-in-law.
I get that, which is why she's so disoriented. She's never seen a relationship
And also, you
like
give
this.
me snacks. I would never do that to you.
I don't know. Are there snacks?
not that you can see.
Okay. Well, okay. I can see your point. Speaking of which, this is far too sweet to me, and you did
Yeah, I
say
was
you
gonna
really
say
like
that.
blue.
The banana and strawberry one you gave me earlier, which is straight sugar.
Well, this is probably straight sugar too, but it tastes like a flavour you probably like.
Okay, so Dimitri picks up instantly that you are definitely in something very reminiscent of the Blackmorian tech you've read about.
Oh, I've seen Black
Well,
Orient.
and no, it was not Black Bull. It wasn't. It was on the ship in the Black Mountains. Well, so in that case, then Dimitri will definitely be following in, and when sitting down, you'll look around and say, "Oh, that's interesting, that one."
Shows similar interests. She has.
Yeah, so, and what was that you were saying?
Calcrick shows similar interests because she has
Mm-hmm.
had limited interaction with Blackmorian technology.
Okay, so once you've all sat down, you see the door close behind you by itself. Because, hey, I'm sure magic doors shutting for you are always fantastic to have on those houses. You know, no expenses spared.
I've been on Reverend ship.
Dimitri might be disappointed. Really, he'd be expecting more of the doors shutting like they did in the spaceship on the thing, sliding across some internals.
Yeah, I would have expected a slidey door.
And then you feel your ground shake a little bit underneath you.
I'm thinking rocket ship, like the tower rocket ship from the Shadow Lord. Is there any
It
windows?
was reminiscent of that when we arrived.
Calcrix will ask politely, are there any windows we can look out of?
Eventually, she says.
Okie dokie.
Just, we'll be there shortly.
Are there any windows on the house? Or in the room?
No windows in the room.
No. Calcrix has just covered that. She's like, I
Okay,
don't want to
yeah.
look out.
Yeah. Well, okay. Dimitri's still because if the internals were had reminiscent of Blackmorian technology, then he didn't sit down because he was still looking at the walls and the equipment and bits and pieces.
Okay, so he gets to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've just taken off and you're not sitting in a seat or wearing a seatbelt.
Well, those sitting down get the benefit of being sitting down on the actual things designed to look after you.
Absolutely. A better roll this time out. 22.
Okay, so yes, you do feel Dimitri feels his stomach lurch in various directions constantly.
Okay.
Feels like his insides are being pulled in different directions every few seconds.
Is it appropriate for...
Did you feel a bit like the going up and down the world elevator? It's a hollow world.
A little bit like that, except not as elegant.
Calcrix will pull a sack out of her sack of sacks, not the magical sack of sacks. She got a sack and filled it with actual sacks after her sack of sacks disappeared. And she'll just pass the sack to Dimitri just in case.
Does your sack have anything written on it?
No, it's just...
You didn't get a whole sack full of Calcrix coffee branded sacks?
If I'm allowed to have my sack full of Calcrick's branded coffee ground, yes, they would be sacks from my coffee supplies.
I assumed that would have been what you would have done because, hey, easiest to get ones with your name all over them.
Yeah, sure. They're going to be turning up everywhere, though.
So yes, it only takes about half an hour of Drusilla giving the intense stare at Cetus the entire way.
Do you want to initiate conversation?
She'll ask us when she wants us to speak.
Okay.
But hey, she's only done that to you occasionally.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the pain from the last one has worn off. Maybe.
Pain? Why is there pain?
I don't know.
He did wake up in a different body.
Oh, okay. In Caesar's body?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What were you before?
A normal elf.
Oh. Okay. Is this after you got married? Because you got married?
He married her after he became what he is now.
Did you fall in love with your wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so about half an hour in, you feel a bit of a shaking. Dimitri does look a little grey, but doesn't throw up. And you see the same door you came in open, but outside the door is a different sort of light. It looks more summery.
Nice.
Okay.
I'll just look at it with a farmer's eye.
It does look like a summer's sort of feel.
Okay.
As you see Drusilla just get up and walk out into that space.
Are we talking flowers?
Not
Grass.
that you, well, you can see the light, but you can't
Okay.
actually see what's there.
Okay. So if we leave, what do we see?
Okay, walking out, you see one of the biggest trees you've ever seen. You're sure that this tree is maybe 1,000 feet tall. Or bigger. You can't really imagine a tree that big.
Calcrix has got a 3. She runs and hugs the tree.
As Calcrick goes and hugs the tree, to your side it looks almost like an ant on the side of a tree.
What size am I right now? Just regular large?
I'd say large.
Okay. Big tree?
Biggest tree you've ever hugged. And it feels nice and warm.
I think hello to the tree. And I think lovely tree. I like it.
So, well, Dimitri's coming out, thinking, good, we're left. He'll actually have a look at the ground immediately around the doorway, and presumably the tower of the house or whatever.
That all
Okay.
seems to be unnatural stone.
He said it has been apparently marked in any way from, like I say, like in the sense if it was technically a rocket ship that took off and then suborbital went to another place on the planet type stuff and then landed. I'm assuming it didn't land with a thump or anything like that when we arrived.
No thump, just a bit of shaking.
Well,
But
can we
there'd
breathe?
presumably be some evidence on the ground around of something gone wrong or something happened.
Well,
It's all
from
just
Jeremy's
well
perspective,
put
you would recognize it as an elevator. From Dimitri's perspective, he's puzzled as to what it is because from the outside it doesn't look technological. It just looks like someone has shaped material to look like rock. That's not rock.
Yep.
And looking around you, you seem to be in a very large valley that is many miles across, full of greenery and plants bigger than you've ever seen.
I'll put the heat on.
And Cetus remembers coming here at one point, just not how you got here. This is where you woke up.
Yeah.
Traumatic memories or good memories?
That's what I was going to ask.
Weird memories because he had these, strange appendages that he had to get used to.
Oh, okay.
This is where I woke up after I died.
You died?
Yes.
What was that like? Is that a bad question to ask you? You don't have to answer it. But you died?
Whatever afterlife looks like for elves.
It all depends on what you did while you were alive and who you believed in.
What did you do when you were alive? What did you believe in?
I've hunted krakens. I haven't thought of this much.
Krakens are cool.
Yeah, I agree.
All the ones I've met so far, which is like 2, but it's probably a lot. They've all been really friendly and nice. And helpful.
Mm-hmm. I think this is probably a good time for me to actually start speaking to Drusilla. So why have you brought us here? Seems a bit unnecessary for a discussion on what was going on.
She rarely does anything that's unnecessary, she says.
Alright, that's good enough for me.
She does take you over to a little grove area near the large tree.
So, through my farmer's eye, this
looks like it would be the perfect place to grow anything you want.
right?
Just
And it grows big.
just that you're not exactly sure what's growing here because none of this stuff has been on a farm as far as you know.
Okay.
For some reason, I'm thinking carrots.
So you think more Alice in Wonderland Primordial Grove as you look at this place.
Maybe mushrooms.
So there's bright sunlight.
Mm-hmm. And looking up, you can actually see the light glittering across the sky like a sort of shimmer.
So when we travelled, was there any indication of going down or going up?
You didn't feel like you were going down or up.
Okay.
Just side to side.
Side to side.
Some elevators go side to side. Especially if you watch Star Trek.
It is true.
Redrian has a spaceship. If this is Blackmorian-like technology, I presume it's like space level, sci-fi level technology. So I presume the elevator could probably go diagonally if you wanted it to.
Okay.
It might even shift you through planes or multiverses, which could be the same thing, but to be honest, I'm not sure.
And I'm sure with Dimitri's research, he does recognize that you're looking at a fully grown world tree before you.
That seems like exceptional thing.
Much bigger than what the Master dropped on Akasoli.
I was gonna say the Master dropped a world tree on Akasoli, and that was pretty large.
Right, there was the whole reason that you had to stop the Master reaching
The Elven lands.
the Elven nation, whose name's going on my head right now. Before the
Elfheim.
world
I was gonna
Elfheim,
say
yes.
Elfheim, which
Yeah.
weirdly I think means elf home.
Yep.
And literally, when I was thinking, I think, come on, it's a classic name for an elven home.
And considering
Put it in my mind.
the,
Yeah.
the previous one was called the Sylvan Lands, which also means Elven Lands.
Yeah.
in their tongue.
I don't see the elves as being remarkably imaginative when it comes to naming.
Well, the First Nation actually had a name, which I've got written down somewhere that I can't remember, but it actually had a name, unlike the other two that were named Elven this, Elven that.
Oh my goodness. I feel like we're all experiencing, we can't remember the common names of things. It might actually be like a cold or a virus that we've caught.
It's okay, I've only come across it once and I wrote it down so I didn't forget it, and then I forgot it.
Mm-hmm.
Happens. So yes, the
So after Dimitri looked at the landing point or the exit point from the elevator, whatever the situation actually is, and looked around his hand. A fascinating place, man. Where are we?
she says you're in the first Elven library.
Do you realise you invited Dimitri here?
Is that when we did the previously we were in the Southern Lands, we had was that Dracdima or Peridia at the time, and we had to go and find the 8 tokens or the 12 tokens, whatever, around to open up the place. Was that the first Elven city or was that the second one?
She says that was the second one.
Okay, no, I was actually more as a player in my sense of trying to remember what had gone through. So,
that was the Sylvan Realm, which is, Elven Realm.
I feel like Drusilla would know that Dimitri was trying to remember this stuff, and she would actually even correct him and say, well, actually, the adventurer quester's name is No Idea. She seems like an all-knowing person.
Well, she'd probably say, yes, she's had many conversations with the dragon known as Paradir.
The
one she
as a player, I was trying to remember exactly which one they were. So,
Sylvan.
The accommodation or transportation is rather specialised design and quite ancient. And I guess if we're in the First Elven library, then yes, in part of that separation. Very interesting. So, yeah.
Well, it was their first institution.
Does this library have any links or relationships to the library in the Hollow World?
She says some, but she doesn't let them in here.
Fair enough.
Too stuffy.
Fair enough.
Well, okay. As a library, is there obvious information resources when Dimitri's looking around?
Looking around, you see plants everywhere. You're not exactly sure why she calls this a library.
Cowbricks and
Well, okay. Dimitri can recognise with the time spent in the ship on the, and the name's gone in my head, but
Barrier Peaks.
Barrier Peaks. That's what it is. And its effective replication technology. The concept of information being stored within vegetation is feasible. So, obviously, it's not stuff that he got the immediate access to read or the catalogue to understand, but. So.
Oh, she says if you could speak with plants, you would understand.
Calcrix immediately sees if she's allowed to start her ritual for speak with plants.
She gestures you to wait.
Okay.
She says, "Wouldn't want you to be overwhelmed."
I don't mind being overwhelmed, but I do appreciate the
Dimitri's happy to take, say, as soon as she's saying, I'll speak with Kate. He'll aim to do a quick ritual to go and speak with plants.
She said, Calcrix asked Drusilla, could she start a ritual for speak with plants, and Drusilla has advised her to wait for the moment. So
Yep.
she's waiting until it's okay.
Okay. Well, okay. Rightly or wrongly, Dimitri didn't ask. He started doing it.
So he's just starting the ritual.
Is he doing it as a spell or as a 10-minute casting?
1
minute casting.
Well, 1 minute, but then you actually got to make that shorter, so I don't know what the next step down from that is. So
There's one round.
1 round, yep.
I think Calcrix's is 1 minute.
Okay, do you have it memorized?
As a daily spell, you mean?
Yes.
No, he doesn't memorize it as a daily spell because he works on getting a ritual.
Oh no, the difference is the caster check.
It takes more effort to pass, yeah, absolutely. So,
Give me a caster check.
Yep.
Calgary definitely doesn't save this one.
Where am I? Where's the standard caster check? Standard caster check is D20 plus, in his case, intelligence, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think caster check in this case is your spell attack bonus.
Spell attack bonus. Okay, yep, that makes sense. So that would be 17 and 17, 34.
Okay, so yes, you do manage to get your spell off successfully. As you do, you feel this dominating voice getting your attention.
Okay. He's listening then, apparently.
I don't think you got a choice.
It is saying time for you to start your training as you feel something wrap around you and drag you up into the air.
I think you lost your explainer, but I was going to say that as soon as it was a library.
Congratulations, Dimitri is now learning his first actual rune.
Oh no.
Cool.
As he hangs from the tree of life like Odin for a week.
Okay.
Well, there he goes.
I will point it out, and I am perfectly happy and recognise the player that, hey, yep, it was a dangerous situation that he didn't really want to do, but hey, the opportunity for such knowledge was definitely not going to stop him Dimitri.
And he's getting the knowledge he always wanted, just not the way he wanted it.
To be honest, I saw this coming as soon as he said library. I'm like, Dimitri's gone. I don't think Dimitri's going to be unhappy about it, but I could definitely predict the outcome.
Right.
Okay, so once Dimitri's hanging around, she...
Well, presumably hanging around completely out of sight if he had to go even a tenth of the way up the world tree in that situation.
Let's go to the bathroom.
She does turn to Cetus and going, so which of your explainers will be able to explain why the dragons have migrated to her area?
Well, I was hoping that one would, but I think he's a bit preoccupied.
He didn't listen.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
She does tell you that the nature has told her that someone has activated a major quest, which normally those trying to become gods activate.
Right. That would be Hildred, who is the sovereign you met before.
Yeah, she suspected as much. And she does say that if she does not succeed, well, her kingdom may fall.
Yes, that was also part of our reason for coming here. We firstly wanted to explain why the dragons were here, but we were also hoping we could ask if you had any information that may help us with that quest.
She says those scepters haven't been activated in many thousands of years like that. The elves were the first to activate them. And if she can pull it off, she may end up joining the dragons, as most of her subjects may as well, that survive.
Right.
And they'll become dragons?
There's a good chance they will, yes.
Okay. We will...
It is a quest to become a dragon lord after all. You can't really be a lord if there's no dragons to be lord over.
Yes, that is also the explanation of why there are so many dragons here. She kind of accidentally brought them here upon receiving the scepter.
Well, hey, at least this lot might have someone to explain what being a dragon means.
I suspect you've been through this before.
She has heard from her mentor what happened a few generations before her. There were 10 different dragon lords. And she says each of them founded a society of dragons based on a belief. And in the end, those beliefs ended up being the different colours of dragons. But they ended up, once the Dragon Lord passed on, because the Dragon Lords aren't forever, they became the starting of the new species of dragons. Once the Blackmorians had wiped out the remainder of those that came before. They were predominantly brown, she says.
So, Calcrix has been born from Bahamut and Tiamat, and where does she fit?
She fits in the line not born from elves. But there are a few dragons today who are not a blending of the two.
Okay.
She's not sure she'd want to live in a world where the descendants of gods are all dragons.
So, what's your suggestion around the blue dragons and how we...
Which blue dragon?
Well, all of them, because they are converging on the Isle of Dread.
The southern continent.
Yes, the southern continent and the forest of, or her forest.
Forest of home.
Where she says that considering its name is the place where hope goes to die, it's probably very fitting to see what happens to these dragons if they can pass that curse or become it.
Well, so...
That might be the end of a blue dragon.
I feel like I've walked in at a really bad moment.
So, we're saying the Kellyan scepter, we'd like to abolish that.
Destroying
Because-
the scepter would destroy the race of dragons.
Really?
Yet is what birthed them.
Uh-huh.
It's the same thing that would have happened if we destroyed the crown.
I feel like I chose the wrong time to go to the bathroom. Because this sounds like a really crucial piece of information that I'm only hearing the end of the sentence of.
Hildren and her subjects may become dragons.
Can I get a summary of...
She basically says that the current race of dragons came about from elves who took on the quest of the Dragon Lord.
I understand that. I know that.
That's a simple
No.
symbolization of what I just spent 10 minutes talking to them about.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I chose the wrong time to go to the bathroom.
It's okay. So the idea is that if she succeeds, there's a good chance her and many of her followers will turn into dragons.
Right, which I'm pretty sure they don't want to do.
And if they fail, then they'll die.
Is there a sideways movement? Can this quest that she's got and the scepter she has, can that be transferred to someone who actually wants to turn into dragons?
She says that hasn't been done, so she doesn't know.
But you're not saying no.
Anything is possible, she
Previously,
says.
everyone that tried to take the quest to become a dragon lord has wanted to be a dragon.
Right, well, do you have any information or leads that might tell us who might know if we could transfer this quest to parties who are not, I don't want to say ignorant, they didn't know, ignorant implies criticism, but you can do things unknowing what you're signing up for. Especially if you've got a tricksy god dragon living in a scepter who doesn't give you all the information you need to make an informed decision.
Actually, Kel wants to be a dragon lord, that's why he sent Hildred on the quest.
Exactly. So you strike me as being a very wise person. You wouldn't have survived this long unless you were.
Well, she, to add to some of the information that the others heard,
Yep.
through her sponsor, to refer to how she learned to be a druid, and through their sponsor, she knows of the transformation of the elves of the past. So she herself wasn't there when it happened.
Calcrix. Sorry.
He does say that it has only been done once as a group of 10 elves created the current race
And that's
of dragons.
how you get your 10 scepters, I presume. Calcrix has got a book on this, in actual fact, about how dragons came to be.
Well, the second race of dragons, she says.
The second race. Because the Shadow Lord, I can't remember his official name, he is one of the first rule of dragons.
She said she didn't know any of the brown dragons still lived.
Neither did she. It was quite a surprise. With this in mind,
He said it must have been a rarity because most of them were as dumb as posts.
Shadowlord definitely wasn't dumb, so I'm guessing
A
that's
rarity.
why that he survived.
Well, let's just say one of the stories she heard was the final battle against the dragons and the Black Morians. The dragons charged down the guns.
Yeah, definitely dumb as ghosts.
And they wondered why they lost.
In all my enthusiasm, I wouldn't charge down a gun. Does this give Calcrix insight into who might be able to help us figure out how to redirect this quest and the scepter off an already overburdened good soul who was just trying to do the right thing and got tricked into being the pawn of an egotistic dragon.
Drusilla is happy to talk you through options. She does say if you seek those dedicated to matter, they would want to see nature take its course and for them to complete the tests, because they're all about the evolution of people, which would include the goddess Terra. If you were to go down the path of the gods of time, as long as a civilization continues, they don't care. So they would be probably more encouraging of a new race of dragons to then continue on and outlive those that are currently here.
I have a feeling that Hildren being dedicated to Zerchev and having already committed herself to creating a nation and spreading his word, while she might think this evolution might be something she might want to pursue at some point, it's definitely not the path she wants to go down. I presume we're working our way through the elements.
Mm-hmm. She says she wouldn't really trust the entropic gods because they would love to see what happens when she fails, because that has a lot of wins on their end about something ending and a nation coming to its close.
So I'm at a point now with not Earth, not time, unless I ask Drazzle whether or not he wants to get another black hand. Pretty sure he doesn't. And now very much not entropy. That leaves us with
fire, with energy and thought. Both of those have similar options. When you're talking about transfer, that is definitely energy's domain. They are very good at taking one thing and making it something else.
so is thought.
Whereas thought is far better at adapting something to be something else.
I'm leaning towards thought only because I have a personal bias towards air.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a place where I have a strength that I might be able to help Hildren.
She says the benefit of the gods of thought is interpretation is what's important.
That, and I'm pretty sure most of the thought gods really like me.
And when you look at the gods of energy, the result is more important than the actual journey.
My experience with people who follow the fire path has been greatly transformative in itself. I find that path a little bit too unpredictable.
Well, when you talk about change and you don't care how the change happens,
Exactly.
anything can go wrong. And as long as a change happens, they're happy. Because it's all about, okay, I want this to do this, it does that, yay, we're all good. How many people died along the way? It doesn't matter.
Now, I'm kind of glad that since I've started taking the dementia medication, my long-term memory has gotten a bit sharper.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that even though Hildren follows Zerchev, she does align and agree with Odin, and I believe he's a god of thought.
He is. And Zerchud is a god of energy.
Which could give us the benefit of both those, because we're looking at a solution for Hildren as a character. So it should, if we start on this path, align with her beliefs and alignments. Does that follow?
That
People?
follows. She does say that this place does have many wonders, but it depends on what it is that really makes you you.
In terms of what we're trying to achieve in this quest, would this be a group UU or would this be an individual UU?
Well, she says an individual UU.
Okay.
Because, like for Cetus, it does note down what happened to him before he became Cetus. Let's record it here.
Is this information you don't have but you want?
This is information that Sean the player doesn't have.
But does Sean the player want it?
Sean the player
Hi,
is
Sean,
thinking he's bringing this up because it's going to be important.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also afraid that I'm going to end up on the tree of Dimitri.
To be
Why are you
fair,
afraid?
that might not be a bad thing. It's just a little bit time consuming.
I mean, yeah, Dimitri's already stuck here for a week. We've got
Exactly.
a week to do something.
You might not notice the time pass if you end up on the tree, so I see this as a win-win situation, which doesn't happen often.
Yeah, I think we should find out what happened to... Was it Clayton? Is that what his name was?
Clayton? Clayton?
I think, no, Clayton...
Clayton is Cetus's brother.
Yeah,
Clayton was the brother because it was Cletus. We changed it because it got too confusing.
that's right. I'm like, that sounds close, but not quite right.
Yeah, we should find out what happened to previous Cetus.
Okay. So, I believe Cetus is down with this path. How is Trellin feeling?
Well, she hands you, tosses you a bottle and says, once you drink that, you will dream and revisit your past life.
That sounds good.
That sounds like a
I
fun
can hold
ride.
you down.
I don't think you need to do that.
He'll pinch your nose to just help you swallow the medicine.
Oh yeah. I'll drink it.
You can just drink it?
Yep.
Okay.
Like most of her brews, it does taste horrible. Which means you know it's going to work.
Yep.
If it doesn't taste horrible, it doesn't work, she says. Which
I
is
don't
why
know.
all her poisons taste absolutely wonderful and she gets compliments on them.
Leia Ariadne's had a lot of medicines that taste awful but don't actually do much.
Okay, so she does say to Trellin, does he want to know what it was like to have grown up an elf?
Yes. Because...
Though she does say that there are 3 different types she can offer you.
Okay.
And because the Great Tree has thought about it for her, she says she will be able to offer you, well, what it was like to grow up in each of the major civilizations.
Yes.
You just get to choose which one. Do you want to grow up amongst the first elves who embraced technology? Do you want to grow up amongst the second elves who went completely the other way and basically, as far as she is concerned, probably are the strangest elves she's ever met?
Okay.
And
What's
then the third elves are those who founded the civilization next to where you grew up in Alfheim. So the difference is the first elves have no concept of the elven pantheon as you know it.
Right.
They never met them. They didn't
Okay.
exist during that time frame. The second generation is the people who followed their great god from these lands that are around you to the northern continent and built the second civilization. He was not a god at the time.
So, I have a personal preference for the 3rd generation of elves.
She says she's not surprised, but she does say that she was curious to see if you were interested in the elves that were more than the elves that are.
I was thinking that
I was wavering, but the Blackmorians and the high-tech stuff doesn't really interest me.
Well, there are none now who know what happened during that time.
Okay.
And thing is, you're probably safer that way.
There's a part of Calcrix that's almost going, me.
Because she does say that you would end up on the God Ixion's hit list.
Let's not have that. So,
You almost tempted him into the first.
Well, she wasn't going to give him something that was a major threat unless he was aware of it first.
She's actually.
What are you writing about? You're already on Thanatos'
I don't know
list.
why Cetus has a problem. Giving you an informed choice is rare for a god.
isn't it Drusilla?
Don't call her a god. You'll go to her head.
Well, okay, it's rare for someone of power such as she has.
I would like to.
Actually
Yeah.
one.
So the third generation, yes.
Okay, so she also gives you a vial. This one is sparkly.
Oh, please don't turn him into a sparkly elf. I don't know that anyone wants that.
Well, I'm a walking rock, so
Well, you could be a walking diamond. It's not a bad thing.
You remember, given enough time, plants can easily break through rock.
well, there is a 17th level walking rock.
There is.
Yeah. So,
I'm aware of exactly what you're talking about.
cool.
He can just turn himself into diamonds.
He can shine bright like a diamond.
Well, I become immune to
Damage,
no,
not magical.
no.
Psychic.
Sean's going to go through them all.
Stupid questions.
Immune to memory loss.
That's right.
That's an irony none of us appreciate.
So
I don't have that problem.
I'll
You're still
anyway,
young, you wait.
I'll
You'll have a very cool power at 17th level.
yes.
That works for me.
I'll look it up in here.
So
But,
4 levels away.
The third generation, yes.
Maybe 3.5.
So it is a sparkly vial.
No worries.
And she does say to Calcrix, much like the others, she can offer you knowledge. She says Dimitri chose his without actually an informed choice, but hey, some people just don't listen.
My ultimate goal is always to help others, and I have spent enough time with a tree in my younger years to trust in the wisdom of the tree. So if the tree has determined an option that might suit me, I will
You become
accept.
immune to petrification. That's sorry.
Like good going
Carry on.
I would
counterproductive.
trust in the tree's choice.
Well,
That said, if the tree would prefer I make a choice.
Well, it does have, again, options.
Mhm.
It says that the first option it can offer you is what it's like to grow up amongst the dragons, as if you'd grown up amongst them. Not easy knowledge to come by because, hey, by their reckoning, you'd still have more than 150 years of childhood ahead of you.
This is something to consider.
Then the tree did offer other options that probably not as appealing, but it did offer what it was like to grow up as your mother. Because she was mortal. And she grew up in probably one of the harder times.
I believe, if I interpret it right, she was one of the not stupid dragons, in amongst a bunch of very stupid dragons.
He actually grew up after them.
Oh, did she?
She became one of the first. Actually, she grew up before them. Hard to tell because the lore there is a bit weird. She died around the same time they did.
I'm aware she achieved something no other dragon did, which is how she became a god. She achieved all of the elements.
She took her power, she didn't earn them.
I am not one to say that I have nothing to learn from the life and hardship my mother went through. But I believe I already take after her in the sense that I have determined my own path already, and I already take my own power, and I know that both things have been difficult to achieve and have involved quite a lot of hardship.
And the tree did offer one last bit of insight.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to be the life of a planet dragon? Which has absolutely no bearing on your current existence.
At the moment, I don't really have any desire or curiosity to learn what it would be like to have a childhood I will never have. Because my understanding is the reason why I was able to broker a peace between, or start to broker a peace between the giants.
If you don't mind her interrupting, the knowledge you gain will be as if you had lived it yourself. So you will have both the knowledge of growing up with dragons as well as growing up away from them. You'll understand both sides of the coin.
May I have some time to consider my answer?
You can. Okay, so going over to Dimitri, who's just hanging around for a little bit. You have some thoughts enter your mind as what sort of knowledge do you seek, as you have found the tree of knowledge.
So in a way, he did make an uninformed, informed choice.
Well, certainly, from Dimitri's perspective, any knowledge is good knowledge. So trying to just specifically restrict one's knowledge is a difficult statement to start to make.
So instead of getting three options from which you could possibly determine the one that suits you best, you've been given the impossible option of trying to determine for yourself what knowledge to get.
So from Dimitri's perspective, the answer is easy. I want it all.
So you seek the actual knowledge, not just a specific knowledge.
Yes, absolutely.
You can work with that, the tree says.
Oh, good. Dimitri can't, the tree can.
I was going to say, Dimitri may find himself changed in ways that may mean he's never going to be the same again.
But at least you'll die happy.
I never said he would die.
I do believe that the worst / best outcome is that you're not going to die from this. You're going to have to live with it.
He just has to spend a week on the tree for each rune he gets, and he's getting all of them.
Mm.
Which also means if he messes up, he loses all of them. And everybody loses all of them.
Technically, if he does get all of the greater runes, that would be, I believe, 24 weeks on the tree and minus 24 constitution points.
Mm.
What would that mean?
Every point of constitution reduces his hit points by 1 per level.
How many hit points does Dimitri have?
I don't think he has enough to cover 24.
No, he's only got to cover 14.
Oh,
Wouldn't it be
okay.
24 times 14?
I was going to say, doesn't Calcrix have like 180?
Yeah, no.
Well,
it's
it
not so much
reduces.
the hit points lost. It's the idea of if you lose a point of constitution every time for every rune, then the okay, if your constitution is 0, it doesn't matter how many points you might think you have, you've got none.
Well, in this case, it takes you to minus 5.
Okay, alright, so Constitution isn't the same as hit points.
It's not the same as hit points, but every time it changes a bonus, it reduces your hit points by your level.
Because the reason it does that is because every time you go up a level, you get hit points for your hit die plus or minus your constitution bonus. So if your constitution bonus changes, it's a per level modifier.
But for Dimitri's luck, there are quite a few knowledge-based runes, so he's bound to get one of them.
Yep.
Just not a specific one, because that's not how the tree works.
Absolutely. No, that's good. That's fine. And hey, again, give me the answer if you want it all. As a player, I'm recognising that this could be interesting. But he died happy.
Okay, so you will wake up with knowledge of one of the greater runes, which you can then scribe onto things using the rune craft.
Yep.
You can technically also scribe it into the air. The whole thing with knowing a greater rune is it is literally a magic in itself.
Right.
Does this mean Dimitri's going to have the kind of awakening where he realises he isn't the source of the best and he's not the wisest person in the world?
Probably, but he also realizes he's channeling a god every time he does it.
G'day.
Right.
So it's not his magic, it's someone else's magic.
It could be interesting.
And
Just
it'll be
going-
probably the first time he's actually going into channeling someone else's magic.
The kitchen is in a state of transition. I apologise. I think
Okay.
you're adaptive enough to work.
And for Cetus, you'll be finding out all about how one of your mothers is also one of your previous life's consumer.
What?
I'm
The
guessing
reason
the
why-
mother below probably ate one of his previous lives.
Oh, okay.
So she
What Drusilla did.
helped with a life by giving a life. And yes, Drusilla also did have one of your previous lives as well. As did your wife.
I think in that
Okay.
context I can better understand the love-hate relationship.
And you realize that you're currently on your 5th life.
Out of...
Well, that means he's currently died 4 times.
It sounds traumatic. I feel like we should start a group therapy.
Well, I did write more Genric's backstory. He was on his 20th life.
Oh, wow. I think I should put you in contact with a friend of mine called Lani. I think she's on her 18th.
So for most people, when they start a new life, they have to give something up and leave stuff behind. So the more they die, the more they lose, to the point where there's not much left of them. Which is why Genric was so generic, because he left so much of himself behind with every other life. And that is what normally becomes the curse of reincarnation, is this, you start to become bland.
I'm not sure I want to be reincarnated.
Well, the first couple of times is good. After that, it doesn't go so well.
Mm.
So what's my greater rune? rune.
Well, you don't get a greater rune. You get the ability to associate with the elves and get a culture of the elves
Ah,
on top of Tunnel Halfling. So you technically have two cultures because you
Right.
have experienced both equally.
okay,
You now know what it's like to have grown up amongst the elves and their hatred of technology.
cool.
So I
Not
don't-
that it actually compels you because you have the halfling background, which
Yeah,
on
on top.
gives you some perspective on how twisted the elves had become over time.
I
Ah,
don't know if you remember, but there was a session a little while back where you had a transformative experience similarly, where you realized you were neither halfling nor elf because you didn't have a foot in either. This might actually rectify that.
and I think that was with Frosty the Dragon.
Yes.
It was
yes.
our
And
first
with
session.
that, you also get to pick a elven name of your own because the world tree technically counts as a tree of life for the purposes of naming yourself.
So this is actually a bigger
Hmm.
thing than
So
you ever
from
expected.
the elven perspective, this is where you start your adulthood.
Right. So I've got 150, and that's accurate.
And I had this in the background for your character for quite some time.
No worries.
And the reason I kept putting that you were a child was you had to experience life as an elf for the trees to accept you. Because they won't accept a non-traditional elf anywhere near them.
So presuming it takes a week, because that's how long Dimitri's hanging around for, it might mean that you get to live a lifetime in just 1 week.
You do. You basically wake up with the full knowledge of 150 years of elfdom on top of your halfling life.
Right.
And Cetus now has 4 lifetimes before him.
So they're going to be like one of those
Do I
mugs
get
that
any
says,
benefit from that?
Probably lots of trauma.
apparently the benefit from trauma is experience. So
Yeah, I gained like 5 levels.
you know what things not to do.
On the bright side, if you can come up with a story for each of those lives, that becomes canon.
What is the benefit of that? I don't
Is his character may have completely different lifestyles. He may have been a farmer. He may have been a
swashbuckling pirate.
he may have been an exotic dancer.
He may have been someone who grew up in the lands of sin and have understanding of the life of the master.
Which might mean we suddenly get advantage over the master. You might know his weakness. You could have hung out with him in school.
Oh no, one of my previous lives was his twin brother. Why do I keep making my characters twins?
See, this is why you need Jeremy to insert his little bit of inspiration.
Well, they started off with simple, and Jeremy went, well, here's something that can actually influence the story plot, and I'm happy for you to take an influential point.
And
I didn't go up with having grown up as the master.
I think if he was a master in a previous life, that would make things very complex.
I feel like this is way too much lore for Cetus or somebody who I don't think is going to be here in a few sessions.
The thing is that this could influence other sessions for other parties.
And the thing is, with Cetus becoming an NPC in the background, it means he's also a resource for the other characters.
So, the question is with great power comes great responsibility.
I'm not making him Spider-Man.
I was going to say, he could be a member of the multiverse.
And how does Ariadne think Calcrix will go?
Considering you're likely to finish up the session soon,
Calprix is actually probably going to ask if she can
Think
have
about it.
until the next session before she decides. And one of the things that is under her consideration is, can she ask for an option 4, which is to again do what Calprix does and ask for the knowledge that will help her friend with the Dragon Scepter successfully negotiate an outcome that will end well for her friend. And that is why I was hoping to have a bit more time, because I'm not sure whether or not that is a good option. So time to consider is always helpful if that's available.
Yes, we shall see what happens there. Does anyone wish to add anything else for the next session now that each of you has gained something you would never have gained normally?
I would like to add something.
Mm-hmm.
Ipu's now going, do I get to talk to the tree?
One thing that gaining a rune, and obviously it might happen a little bit after everyone else because you guys might have moved on by the time Dimitri gets let down from the tree. But I'm guessing that might fulfill his Destiny of Knowledge feature.
It probably will.
Because it talks about the idea of when you have a true epiphany, learn methods to do something thought impossible, discover fundamental cosmic truth, learn the truth behind the ultimate secret.
Which is technically what a greater rune is.
And
particularly that aspect of the fundamental cosmic truth.
I was going to say, and you know that could mean quite a change for Dimitri. Like, that's probably life changing.
If nothing else, it's +1 intelligence, +1 wisdom, +1 charisma.
I'm starting to learn something over my last 26 years of seeing, I don't know, 3 games a week for 50 odd weeks a year, and that is, I'd say 99% of the time with most players it will come down to statistics and mechanics. Which +1s can I get and on what?
Considering how rare they are to get. Especially in this storyline.
Yes, it is still amusing.
Yeah. And I have a prairie cat.
Does that mean we all get an extra bonus? We'll call it the bonus of the prairie cat.
Oh yes, I'm sure Eve will end up talking to the tree for some time, especially as each of you will be spending a week learning what Priscilla has given you. And each of that is through the tree.
And can I, if AJ and Rhiannon look at the video, find out on behalf of them, do they too need to consider what they might learn from the world tree, or are they not here?
Merc can't.
Merc can't.
No, the tree will not teach you.
I'm sorry, Merc. AJ, you watched all this way for nothing. You get nothing but to eat more gold.
Well, he might have been talking to Priscilla and asking the questions or explaining to Priscilla why the blue dragons were there.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah. He might get a different benefit. I think Drusilla might be very interested in getting to know Merc.
Or killing him.
I had made the assumption that we had left Hildred and Merc behind.
And what about Hildren?
Most likely Hildren left behind as well.
Okay, alright. So not things for them to consider.
Otherwise, she'd definitely be having to explain as a subordinate to Drusilla.
I'm guessing that's a gift I did not expect.
She wouldn't have needed anyone else if she summoned
Okay,
Hildren.
fair enough.
Okay, so an end credits it is.